So, what if the biggest threat to museum security wasn't some master thief, but the very systems that are supposed to stop them? Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating new concept called the Silent Sentinel. It's a system that wants to protect our priceless history by, get this, first protecting the people who guard it. This quote right here, it gets straight to the heart of the entire problem. See, we've got more security tech than ever before, but it's actually creating this dangerous side effect: human cognitive overload. When you bombard a security guard with constant meaningless alerts, their focus just dulls. They get numb to all the noise. And that is the exact moment a real threat can slip right through. All right, so here's our roadmap. First up, we're going to diagnose what we're calling the museum's midnight problem. Then, we'll introduce the Silent Sentinel and its very clever disguised drones. After that, we'll take a peek inside the AI nerve center that runs the whole show. We'll look at the pros and cons through an expert's eyes, and finally, we'll think about the kind of invisible future this whole concept is pointing towards. Okay, let's set the scene. I want you to picture a huge museum, long after midnight. The halls are dark, they're silent, but for the security staff, the pressure is just immense. They are the only thing standing between priceless artifacts and, well, anything. The stakes just couldn't be higher. Yeah, try to put yourself in the guard's shoes for a second. You're watching over these vast, echoing spaces with just a handful of colleagues. You're getting bombarded by alerts from a dozen different systems that don't talk to each other. Most of them are false alarms, a mouse, a draft, some random glitch. This is what creates alert fatigue, that dangerous state where you just start tuning out the noise. And on top of it all, a lot of the autonomous tech out there just isn't that trustworthy, so it ends up adding more stress instead of taking it away. So, if throwing more technology at the problem is actually part of the problem, what's the solution? Well, the answer isn't to just add more beeps and more alarms. It's to build smarter systems. And that, right there, is the philosophy behind the Silent Sentinel. Now, the key phrase here isn't just drone security system. It's context-aware and layered. Context-aware means the system actually understands its environment, and layered means it has multiple lines of defense. But look at that goal. It's explicitly designed to reduce human stress. That is a huge shift in thinking for a security system. It's a total game changer. And this is where the idea really clicks into place. Instead of some one-size-fits-all security drone that, let's be honest, looks out of place everywhere, the Silent Sentinel system is built on one core belief. The drone's body should blend in perfectly with its surroundings, because what works outside is definitely not going to work inside. So, how does this whole blending in thing actually work in practice? Okay, this is where things get really, really cool. The system uses two completely different kinds of drones, and each one is basically a guardian in disguise. So the first layer of defense is the owl drone. This is your perimeter guard. It's super lightweight, it's shaped just like an owl, and its whole job is to just sit there, perched on a tree branch or ledge, looking completely natural. It's not buzzing around all night, it's just watching, passively, using its thermal and low-light cameras to spot anything weird before it even gets to the building. The whole goal here is to be completely invisible. Now, inside the museum, an owl would be just ridiculous, right? So the strategy completely changes. Inside, the drones are disguised as part of the building itself, a light fixture, maybe an air vent, or a small plaque on the wall. They stay completely still, docked and hidden in plain sight until a threat has already been confirmed. Only then do they detach to go investigate, giving the security team a crucial set of eyes right where they need them. So you see, you have two completely different designs serving two totally distinct roles. The owl gives you that early warning on the outside with its natural disguise, while the architectural drone is all about verifying a real problem on the inside using its architectural disguise. It's just a perfect example of form following function. Okay, so we've got these incredible disguised drones, but what's telling them what to do? What's making them smart? Well, that brings us to the AI nerve center. This is the brain of the whole operation. And this right here is the part that directly solves that core problem of cognitive overload. The AI takes in all the raw data, sound, heat, motion, and it fuses it all together. It doesn't just send a blaring alarm. It actually assigns a confidence score to what it's seeing. So the human supervisor doesn't just get a meaningless beep. No, they get a clear, plain language message, something like, high confidence of human presence detected near west entrance. This gives them actual intelligence so they can make a calm, informed decision. Of course, a system this powerful immediately brings up questions about privacy, and the design actually tackles this head on. The system is built from the ground up not to listen to conversations. It doesn't have speech recognition, it doesn't record continuous audio or video. The AI is only looking for patterns, the sound of breaking glass, the heat signature of a person. It's not interested in the content, and that is a really crucial ethical choice. Now, we have to remember, this is a concept, not a product you can buy off the shelf. So how does it actually hold up to some tough scrutiny? Well, the source material we're looking at includes a really detailed expert evaluation, which gives us a great balanced view of the whole thing. So, on the positive side, the general consensus from the experts is that this is a hugely creative and thoughtfully designed solution that gets a lot of things really, really right. What it was really praised for was its deep understanding of the real problem, that this is about the human user, not just about the tech. The sheer creativity of the disguised drones and that intense focus on using AI to actually reduce stress, those were seen as major, major strengths. It feels like a system that was genuinely designed with people in mind. But of course, it's not without its challenges. Brilliant concepts often run into the hard, cold realities of engineering and physics. The concerns here are all very practical. I mean, can you really pack all those sensors into a drone that weighs less than a can of soda? How long can it actually fly on a single charge? And just imagine how complex it would be to install and maintain a whole fleet of drones disguised as light fixtures. These are the tough engineering hurdles that would need to be cleared to make this a reality. So let's zoom out. What's the big picture here? What can we really learn from the silent Sentinel concept, even if we don't see it in museums tomorrow? Ultimately, it all boils down to this. The future of truly effective AI isn't about replacing people. It's about making them better at their jobs. The Silent Sentinel is this powerful vision for how to build technology that supports our focus and our judgment, instead of just drowning us in data. The real goal is augmentation, not automation. And that leaves us with one last really important question to chew on. As our security systems get more autonomous, more intelligent, and more invisible, literally blending into the background of our world, how do we maintain oversight? How do we make sure these silent guardians are held accountable? That's a question we're all going to have to answer as we build this future.